What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to probably one of my favorite episodes of the Waterboy podcast we'll ever record. Today it is episode 255. The NFL is back, Everett. Football is fully back. We are fully back into everything. Michigan are a bunch of frauds, like we all knew. College football is finally returning to normal, and so are Notre Dame. I mean, this was one of the best weekends of my life. Michigan getting exposed, Notre Dame getting exposed. The Chargers won a game, and the Chargers have an identity for the football team for maybe the first time in my life. I can't believe this is real life. I'm smiling through it all. I can't believe it. Who would have thought? It's the the meme. Who would have thought? We're right here, me and you. Who would have thought? Not me.
Which the two of us, we're here.
I wouldn't have thought this after the way the last 3 years have gone, but here we are in the year 2024.
Hey, at least to the Chargers, I don't think many people would have said the same thing going on this weekend.
If you were to tell me 1 year ago the Chargers will have a competent football coach next season, I would have said, dude, stop telling me fantasy fairy tales. I know that'll never happen. I think it might be happening though. Jim Harbaugh may have actually figured something out here, despite the lack of talent that he has. But I think we're gonna have to start off with the NFL today. Everett. Well, what do you have first?
Well, what I had was kind of more pertaining to college football, so I can wait.
We can go either way.
We could do a quick NFL recap because, to be honest, there's not a whole lot for us to go over. Like week one action is week one action. The biggest thing is more so injury related.
Yeah, I'd say more so.
And Daniel Jones sucks, long. If anybody wasn't already aware of that.
Well, we got a couple of guys that we can label as sucks. So Daniel Jones sucks. Deshaun Watson sucks.
Will Levis sucks.
Bo Nix sucks. Caleb Williams, as of right now, sucks. Justin Fields still sucks. A lot of guys
sucks.
Yeah, I'm happy you said it, not me. Thank you.
Bryce Young. That's a stinker. That's not a suck. That's a stinker.
You know, that might be a stinks and a sucks, both. Stunks. It might be all of the above.
A stunk?
Yeah, we'll have to think of different verbiage to describe them. But right now, we're in a very interesting time with the NFL. A lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces. Not quite the rookie debuts I think a lot of people were hoping for or expecting. But regardless, a lot of NFL to discuss. Also, we are recording this as Monday Night Football is about to kick off, and Aaron Rodgers' other Achilles has the opportunity to do the funniest thing of all time. The funniest thing of all time.
I am also going to preference that it is Monday Night Football, but also my Wi-Fi is just going through it right now. So
yeah, a little spotty today.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of hope to get through this one. A little bit of strength, perseverance with the internet to get through this. I'm talking bandwidth here, folks. But let's talk some ball, NFL. Starting off, we kind of did actually. No, we discussed most of that. Starting off, I actually want to talk about one guy that you're quite attached to, Anthony Richardson. I saw a lot of people online having some very strong opinions on Anthony Richardson, either one way or the other. For me, I feel like that conclusion is yet to be made for me. But Everett, what did you think of Anthony Richardson over this week? Was that his second career start in the NFL?
No, he played like 2-3 games last year. He played like 3 games last year.
I don't know why I thought I remembered he got hurt halftime his first game last year. But
he did get hurt. But he got hurt, played the next game, got hurt in that game, and then finally went out for the season. The third game.
Well, what do you think of AR-15? I saw he hit a couple of deep shots. Looked nice.
I don't.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I did not get to watch much of Anthony Richardson's game.
Okay, fair. Yeah. I just saw he hit 3 like 40, 50, 60 yard long throws, looked really good. Other than those 3 plays, he was AR-15 at Florida, couldn't hit the side of a barn to save his life.
No, I mean,
but the potential is quite evident.
I mean, I'm just gonna, the way that they're rushing him is really what the usage is gonna come down to see how well he can do, because that's just completely different.
Like, this is kind of something I was thinking of the other day. Josh Allen, it took him a couple of years to really get involved in the NFL and to really be like a game-changing quarterback. And even still to this day, I was watching a lot of that Bills game. That was the local CBS broadcast in LA, for anyone wondering. Talk about a local game for the Bills one. But Josh Allen still makes those stupid, awful interception mistakes. Just, what are you doing? He still makes those to this day. Those are still there. But like, that Cardinals Bills game was just the most Josh Allen game ever. Bills go down early. A lot of that early lead given away is because Josh Allen throws a horrible pick, giving the ball to the Cardinals in favorable territory. And then Josh Allen's his way back in the second half. And I think with AR-15, if there's anyone you have to be patient with and you have to give him time, it's him. Like, anyone watching what he did at Florida, if you expect him to come in from day one and put up 300 yards, 4 touchdowns per game, you're crazy. I don't know where you would have saw that from Florida. This is a guy where I think you got to give him time. It might not be the prettiest football this year, but that was a 2-point game at the end against CJ Stroud in Houston. Like
no, I mean, it was a much closer game than people thought it was going to be. And coming into year 2 for somebody that didn't play essentially the entirety of the last year, that's a pretty good start. And, maybe the wide receiver game, it didn't, wasn't as great as we thought it was going to be. Maybe Michael Pittman wasn't as sharp. Adonai Mitchell wasn't as great, but the run game was pretty good. And if that's going to be their identity this season, they're probably going to be pretty successful.
Yeah, and I think it probably will be their identity, considering Taylor just got a contract and stuff. Like, I think Jonathan Taylor is one of the most ideal guys you could have to surround AR-15 with, just having that running attack, like making sure guys aren't just keying on AR-15 the run game. Jonathan Taylor is a threat.
It's like the inverse. It's kind of the inverse of Derek and Lamar, where Derek's the big body and Lamar is kind of skinny. Yeah, AR is the big body, and JT is a little bit more kind of not skinny. Skinny's not the word that I would use for Jonathan Taylor, but
not the power that like I would say one thing with like JT that I do like is he can pound the ball in the end zone if needed, but also AR-15 obviously gives you that additional rushing threat on the goal line. Having another big body guy there, like if it were me, I would install tonight QB power with AR-15. Like, I know Jonathan Taylor fantasy owners won't like it, but Jonathan Taylor, use him as a blocker, have a numbers advantage in the run game, let AR-15 pound that shit in himself.
I will say, I mean, the meme where it's like the 4 dragon heads. It's like one, and then the just like the meme dragon head, right?
Yes.
The stupid one. Yeah. So you have the Texans, the Colts, the Jaguars, and then there's the Titans. Titans are that last head, and that's.
Yeah, I would say the AFC. That whole division, AFC South, it's been interesting to look at the past couple of years, seeing them. Like, I feel like going into last season, everybody was picking Jacksonville to win the division. Nobody thought Houston was going to go on the run they went last season. And I'd say just overall Colts, Houston, Jacksonville standpoint, a lot of young, exciting quarterbacks for those 3 teams. Unlike Tennessee. But, I don't want to talk.
Well, Tennessee's young. It's just maybe not exciting.
Very true. Okay. Actually, touche. You got me there. They are young, not exciting. Like, also, while I'm a little bit close to this, having being a Bo Nix dynasty owner, but I shout out Sean Payton for going with the older veteran quarterback in Bo Nix to give the younger guy, Zach Wilson, some time, breaking into the offense, getting used to everything. From what I saw of Bo Nix, in that first game, Everett, like, I think at halftime, Bo Nix was like 16 for 24 with 40 yards passing. In that first half, I think he completed one pass with over 2 yards of depth, 2 yards depth, past the line of scrimmage. Everything was just screen check down city. Bo Nix plays like he is a 38-year-old quarterback on his last ride filling in for a start. Like, it is mind-boggling to me that Sean Payton was like, yeah, Bo Nix is him. That's my guy. I'll be honest, as a Bo Nix dynasty owner, I would just rewatch the 2019 Iron Bowl as all of my reasoning as to pick Bo Nix. Put a finger up. That's on me. Put a finger up. One game doesn't dictate a man's career.
When Sean
That's
Payton
true.
said he saw some Drew Brees and Bo Nix, he wasn't talking prime Drew Brees. He was talking end of career.
About arm strength. Okay. That's what he was talking about. Yeah, we are back in the slant boy offense with Michael Thomas. Sure, Michael Thomas run a dirty slant, but the only reason that he was running so many slants is because that's how far Drew could throw the ball. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough year for Denver. It's a building year, a building season.
Every year is a building year.
Yeah, shout out them. They're gonna be building something in place. And
maybe also, for the 2031 season.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, RIP, the revamped Seahawks offense. Yeah. JSN's career has officially ended. He finished the game with 2 targets, 2 catches, 12 yards.
Hey, when Tyler Lockett retires in 5 seasons, that's a JSN breakout year.
Yeah, the JSN hype is officially dead. There is no more hype for my boy. Free JSN, free Olave. We need to free a lot of Buckeyes right now. Oh my God. Free Marv. Oh my God, Kyler.
That was bad.
I really looked to that those D-Hop Kyler years and thought, you know what, Kyler is just gonna F it, D-Hop down there somewhere with Marv.
The only difference is at least Cliff Kingsbury wanted to take those shots. I don't know who their OC is right now, but boy,
I couldn't tell you who the Arizona OC is, but I'll never forget at Ohio State, Marv. I kind of knew him quite well for never complaining to Kyle McCord on this. Never did you ever see Marv complaining about not getting the ball. I'm gonna need you to start complaining a little bit, Marv. I'm gonna need to see a little more diva out of you. You have the right to be a diva.
Let's get some Stephon Diggs.
You can be a diva, Marv. I will not be mad at you if you become a little Olave. Okay, you deserve to be a little Olave.
Brand, I got some breaking news. There's a very real chance that Christian McCaffrey does not play next week versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Also next week. Okay.
Yes, specifically next week.
A late last second scratch for McCaffrey in this game. I would say one thing I did hear a lot past couple of weeks is, hey, McCaffrey is on injury report with some calf soreness or something with his ankle, I believe. So I'd been hearing that for a little bit. I didn't think it'd sit him out, but I think this is actually a very important game to watch. Well, obviously, I won't be paying attention to it till the podcast wrapped. Of course, shout out the Waterboy faithful. But I think we're going to see a lot about the 49ers here and their offense.
So Grant, as an Isaac Garriendo dynasty owner,
well, he's also out for the week. He's also been scratched.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck. Damn it.
Very low key. I think like Trey Benson and Blake Corum might have been the only rookie running backs to suit up this week, and Blake Corum didn't play a snap. Like I think Trey Benson was the only rookie running back to appear this week.
Jonathan Brooks was hurt.
Yeah. I saw Blake Corum didn't have a snap last night.
Yeah.
I know Garendo didn't play. I know Marshawn Lloyd did
not play.
Scratch right before. Jalen Wright got scratched right before. Shout out Tyrone Tracy. Shout out Tracy.
2 yards rushing, but
two more than pretty much every rookie running back in the NFL.
So did Will Shipley. Will Shipley got some playing. I don't know if he caught anything, but Will Shipley got some. And Carson Steele did too.
Carson Steele did get a lot of PT. Hey, we know about the Carson Steele Badass Award. He does have a pet alligator, folks, and I love that.
He does.
You won't see me saying anything nice about the Chiefs on here very much, but Carson Steele, you are a badass. You are an absolute dog. You have a pet alligator. I can't take that away from him. I want to say something bad about Carson Steele, but I can't. Unfortunately I can't. He's way too cool. But last little NFL thing. I guess my last big thing I want to talk about with the Chargers. I can't believe there's actually some identity there. And also, for the Joe Alt crowd calling me out, that TikTok's been getting a lot of comments recently. How'd that turn out for you, bud? I'll put a hand up and also keep a hand down at the same time. You'll see what I mean. Joe Alt was the right pick for the do not get me wrong. Joe Alt looked great. I was so impressed with how he held up against Crosby. And to all the Raiders fans out there, how's it feel that Crosby can't just switch over to Pipkin's side and put up 4 sacks? Yeah, how's it feel that there's 2 tackles in LA now? Must feel pretty good, huh? Yeah, but if you guys want to feel better about yourselves, look at our wide receiver room. Right now, the Chargers, Everett, I'm not lying when I say I believe Jeremiah Smith would be the best wide receiver on the Chargers by a healthy margin if he was on the team today. And I'm not saying that as an Ohio State fan. I'm not like saying that to be that like Quentin Johnston is just so unreliable that it hurts. And I will shout out Harbaugh and the offensive coaching staff for using Quentin Johnston as he should be. He was recruited out of college. He was a big body 6'4" guy, but he was not physical at the catch point. He was not a big body. He didn't play like that. He was a much more of a yak guy. Get him in space, let him run with the ball. Very ironic for a 6'4" wide receiver. But hey, that's what he's good at. And it was very refreshing to see the Chargers actually try to use Quentin Johnston as a yak guy, get him the ball, put the ball in his hands, let him run, as opposed to thinking he'll be a deep threat down the sideline, making one-on-one catches. Like, there was nothing in anything from TCU that would indicate that.
No, that was just every other wide receiver drafted in the first round that year.
It was every other wide receiver drafted in the first round that year. And it was Tom Telesco believing, oh, well, I mean, he's the intangibles. He's 6'4", he's faster or as fast as these guys. In theory, he should be the best. Wrong. Tape matters, folks. It might take us a while to learn that, but it was refreshing to see Quentin Johnston used properly. But I was the most impressed with Zion Johnson and how he stepped up. Zion Johnson, first round pick for the Chargers 2 seasons ago as a guard out of Boston College. Did not look great year 1. Jamari Sawyer outshined him last season. Did not play up to first round expectations. Last Sunday, I was like, is Zion Johnson getting a push? What? Where did that come from? Because under any staff associated with Brandon Staley, that's not possible to achieve, but it was achieved. And that's the guy I'm looking at the most this year, other than Herbert, obviously. Do not let them touch him, please. Okay, Slater. Okay, do not let them look at Justin. But Zion, who has also most impressive, and also Bosa, if he could just stay healthy. I know he won't, but the 3 weeks where he's healthy looks damn good. But Everett, yeah. I want to talk about the year 7 Darnold bump. Don't sleep on the year 7 bump.
It's a revitalized year. It's like the Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield career revitalization. That's kind of where we're at right now. I hope, but I mean, it is the Giants, so you never know.
Honestly, you tell me what you think of this, Everett, as a Vikings fan. Like, what do you think would be better, going 4 wins, 5 wins, getting a top draft pick, or would going 8-9, 9-8, like just miss the playoffs, but not a great pick? Like, what would you rather have? Because I could see with your team and the core, I'm talking like the locker room pieces in play here. Like, I'm pretty much thinking of you, Justin. But with Justin Jefferson there, like, if you guys can go 8-9, 9-8, regardless of the playoffs, like maybe the motivation with the team rides high going into next year with JJ. I don't know. What do you think would be better?
Okay, first of all, I feel like I'm lagging out, so
Yeah,
hopefully it's not that
some
bad.
connection issues. I got you clear right now.
Some connection issues. Okay, but the other thing, in general, always try and go for a winning season.
Okay.
Always try and go for a winning season, and I don't really think that there is much rapport going for a team getting a number one pick in the NFL and that immediately revitalizing their entire everything. Like NBA is maybe one thing where you get a number one pick and it changes the whole franchise, but the NFL is not as much of that, really.
100%.
So
Yeah.
I'm not really I would rather win. I'd rather win. I'd rather have that late second, oh, are we going to be able to make the playoffs? Are we not? In a year where everybody doubted us and our QB of the future didn't play, much rather have that and go into next year feeling great than be 4-9, be like, all right, so what went wrong? And I mean, Sam Darnold played great. It was the Giants. So, I mean, Taylor and assault, but everything looked great. Everything looked great. And defense looked great. Offense looked great. Make the most of the season. I'd rather see them go out swinging than, just sucking, stinking it.
Yeah, I think actually to a little more of a fun topic for you as a Vikings fan, Jordan Love's injury. What are your initial thoughts on Jordan Love?
Well, one, that sucks because it was 8 seconds left in the game. That's tough.
Literally the second to last play of the game.
That's tough. But yeah, no, Packers. I feel like you really wish you had Michael Pratt right now. Wouldn't it be nice?
I'll be honest. I was scouring a couple of fantasy Reddit pages after that injury, and one of the top blog posts on some of those Reddit fantasy pages were Malik Willis as an option. Like how much FAAB should I bid for Malik Willis? And the resounding top comment is 0. There is nothing you could do to make me willingly start Malik Willis. You are better off starting a third string running back at that super flex spot than Malik Willis. We'll see how bad this is. If it really is only a MCL sprain, it's only a few weeks, then the Packers season is still in play. But if there's a bit of a lingering issue there with the knee, and maybe 4 weeks is rushing it, maybe he needs a little more time, I'm not sure if Malik Willis can keep the ship afloat enough by the time Love comes. By the time Love is back, the ship might have 15 holes. Okay. The ship might be at the bottom of the ocean by the time Love's back. Dang it, Everett cut out a little bit. You back with us? You got us?
I mean, they also play. Yeah. I
got you.
I hope so.
Got you.
This is gonna be a great episode.
Got you.
You're back. But we fight through it.
You're back.
Basically a solo episode. But no, I mean, they have a lot of. I think they have a couple in division games over that period too. So not having Jordan Love is going to be a tough one for them. And it's not like when Jordan Love comes back, they're going to tank. That's not going to be the case. They're going to try and get those wins.
No.
So
I mean,
the one thing we can all compromise on though is no matter what, the Bears suck. So, and yeah, they did win, but the Bears suck. And by the way, Romo Dunze scheduled to get an MRI on his knee right now. Not good. I think DJ Moore went out with an injury. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Keenan Allen.
I think Keenan's still going through a midlife crisis. So, but based off the Chicago passing attack in week 1, it's all right. I don't think they'll need Keenan.
Yeah, no, remember when all the Bears fans were like, we're going to finally have a 4,000-yard passer? Caleb Williams threw for 97 yards. No.
Yeah.
On Titans defense. Titans.
Hey, I'll be honest. This coming from a Justin Fields fan perspective. Just seeing the way that city outcasted Justin, they never deserved Justin Fields. Chicago never deserved to have a quarterback like Justin Fields play for their team. I'm so sorry, Caleb. It has to be that I'm
I am still sorry for Justin Fields because he's not even on a team that gives him a chance. He has Arthur Smith as his OC. If you want Justin Fields to really get a chance to do something, you got to put him on a team that actually has a quarterback coach.
Yeah,
like a Vikings.
I would try to defend Justin. I would, I saw a post going around. Justin Fields is one of 3 quarterbacks in NFL history to have over 75% completion percentage and 50 yards rushing in a team debut. That's like the most nitpick stat ever. Like, they should have also mentioned that Justin was 0 for 6 in the red zone on touchdown attempts and did not score a touchdown one time in the red zone. I've fully given up on all the Justin Fields dreams. I'll still believe that he was never even given a chance to succeed, and maybe it could have worked out in San Francisco. But yeah, that ship has sailed. Justin, I'm sorry, bro, but it's not going to work out for you in the NFL.
Maybe he could get a revitalized career, time in a couple of years.
I mean, in terms of a career,
Rams would be a great spot in like 2 years. I'd love to see
in an ideal world, yeah, but shit, I'll be honest. I think Sean McVay looks at Justin Fields as just like a broken guitar. They're like, that dude's confidence has been shattered so much. There's nothing you could do to piece that together.
Hey, Baker Mayfield revitalized himself a little bit there.
But Baker has a sense of arrogance and confidence to him that there's nothing that can happen in his life that will take that away from Baker. Will always have that little smugness to him.
I'm still confused why Atlanta did not trade for Justin Fields when they were planning on drafting a quarterback this entire time.
Bro, Justin Fields.
Where the fuck did that come into play?
Justin Fields grew up in Kennesaw, Georgia, diehard Falcons fan his entire life. All he wanted to do was play for Atlanta, and
then he whooped their ass. I shouldn't say their defense whooped their ass.
Yeah, like shit. Well, we're doing it again. Justin Fields was not the reason the Steelers won that football game. Like, Justin Fields was not the reason why. But okay. Any more NFL talk, or
we can move on. Yeah.
All right. I'm not lying when I say this past Saturday was like one of the greatest college football Saturdays I can remember in such a long. Just one of the best college football Saturdays I can remember in a long time. And real quick, we have to obviously start with Michigan. A lot of things to unpack, but first, if that game wasn't proof that Michigan was cheating and that their cheating led to a lot of on-field success, then I don't know what is. I don't know what. Maybe USC will have to destroy Michigan in 2 weeks. Maybe then people will finally be like, wait, guys, are we sure Connor Stallions didn't have a pretty big impact on Michigan's success? Okay. To the Michigan crowd who said, God, what a stupid Ohio fan. Does he not realize that losing so much NFL talent and your head coach is going to make your team worse? No, I'm well aware that that's true. But when an Alabama or a Georgia or an Ohio State undergoes some turbulence, a coaching change, a departure, some movement, well, guess what? Those programs still stay at the top. Michigan didn't, though. Why? Well, you guys had a guy who was going around the country, his friends that he'd send to the games, they just happened to send him a video of the sidelines. But, that's like when you give a buddy to a game and, they're just like, oh, look at this picture. You're just being, no, how stupid does he think people like Connor Stallions really said that and thought people would be like, oh, yeah, his friends were just showing him. Oh, look at the seats. Here's a perfect sideline of Ohio State's coaching staff calling the plays. Look how great the seats are. Are you kidding me? It's just pathetic and sad. It's hilarious at this point. But back to the Michigan stuff. To all the Michigan fans out there coming after Davis Warren now and destroying him, saying he's an awful quarterback. Shame on you. Shame on you and anything you stand for claiming to be a Michigan man. Davis Warren is more of a Michigan man than you can ever dream of being in your entire life. I love how they're all just destroying their quarterback right now and flipping it. Like, they weren't aware this was going to come when the season's like, duh. Obviously, you got to walk on beating out your scholarship guy.
Well, I don't think
What
they
do you
were aware that
expect?
Davis Warren was starting until the day of this first game. But
That is true, but I did hear before going into it that Orgy had not taken the battle. He had not won.
well, your sources and their sources are not the same.
That is very true. Michigan sources don't tell the truth. They tell their fan base what they want to hear. A very big difference there. But yeah, any Michigan fan being like, "Oh yeah, our coaches left and we have bad recruits, duh, we're gonna drop off." Yeah, well, elite programs don't have that drop off when they undergo changes. Michigan does though, because they aren't an elite program. They cheated to get to where they were.
Let's also put it this way: when your coach leaves, like let's look at the difference. Yeah, Ohio State. When Urban Meyer retired, he had his like heir, like a parent there, right, in house, right, groomed to take over the job. That's Sharon Moore in this case. So the reason why Sharon Moore sucks, that's on Sharon Moore. And in comparison, if you want to be like, look, they could have hired anybody. Like Alabama replaced Nick Saban with an out of
yeah,
out of
an
school
in-house
option.
hire. Yeah,
And DeVore. Look what Bama's doing. Look at what Bama's doing.
You
so
see other
there were options
programs
there if that was
you
the
see
route.
other programs be able to reload and stay competitive despite turmoil. Michigan was obviously different though. Remember, guys, they cheated. I think it's a nice explanation for it all. But I wish I could spend more time on Michigan, but unfortunately, there's another fan base that deserves a little bit of attention after this last week. Notre Dame, Everett. I would say other than Michigan and UCLA, Notre Dame is my next least favorite fan base in all of college sports. And it's not very close for those top three. But after last week, I had to endure so many Notre Dame fans in our TikTok comments saying, how does Notre Dame beat a top 25 SEC team who's ranked on the road in the loudest environment in college football, no, it's not the loudest environment in college football. That guy was using the college football stadium pulse fucking rankings as his reasoning why A&M had the loudest stadium. God, what an absolute joke. How sad it is to be that guy. But I had to listen to that guy try to tell me the reason you don't have a platform is because you dropped Notre Dame after beating a top 25 team on the road in the loudest environment in college football. To that person, I have to talk to you real quick. First, let's talk about Notre Dame, Texas A&M. The environment was massive. Don't get me wrong. However, it was kind of tough to evaluate Notre Dame's defense when Connor Wegman is genuinely the worst fucking college football quarterback I've ever seen in my life. If Connor Wegman could throw a football, then I would have had more respect for Notre Dame's defense afterwards, knowing that they had to face a quarterback who could throw the football. But they didn't. So it was a little tough for me to evaluate Notre Dame when you can stuff 40 dudes in the box every play and have zero risk of getting exposed in the pass game because Wegman sucks. So that's number one. Number two, Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard is not a good thrower of the football. I think Riley Leonard is a great leader of men. And I think Riley Leonard commands a lot of respect out of his teammates. And I think he's a good leader. Do I think he's a good thrower of the football? No, he's never shown that he's able to do that ever. He didn't do it at Duke, and he hasn't done it in the past 2 weeks.
It's also it's just interesting. Riley Leonard literally just came on last year at Duke, and also like then Notre Dame, like he became the transfer preferred quarterback for Notre Dame. But it's also like Marcus Freeman seems to have an affinity for these guys that are a little like
just like 8-year college guys.
Yeah, but big name quarterback did really well last year, but like not actually are that great. Like they're just kind of like a face for the franchise. And it's kind of similar for like a Grayson McCall would fit into that category. He is so a Marcus Freeman quarterback.
Actually, I think it's more likely than not Grayson, if he has eligibility, he is the starting quarterback for your Notre Dame Fighting Irish next year. Yeah, I mean, Riley Leonard is just not a dynamic thrower of the football. I'm not questioning his quarterback intelligence. I'm not questioning his ability to be a leader, none of that. But just as a thrower of the football, no, Riley Leonard is not dynamic. And I had to listen to people be like, dude, you have Tennessee over Notre Dame. This is why you don't have a platform. This is the best way I could describe it. On a college football broadcast, when a football or just football broadcast, when the quarterback throws the ball, the camera's on them. You can't see downfield. You have no idea who's open and who's not. When a quarterback throws the ball, you're kind of in this little blind faith moment where, is it going to be a big pass or not? You don't know. This is the best way I could describe it. When I'm the viewer seeing Riley Leonard throw the ball off camera and I don't know what's going to happen downfield, I don't have a great feeling that that's going to be a complete pass. You don't have the highest expectations in your mind that this is going to be a 20-yard game. However, when I see Nico Iamaleava at Tennessee throw a football, I can't see the receivers and it pans downfield. I am much more confident that that pass thrown by Iamaleava will result in a completion more than Riley Leonard. I think that's the best way I could describe that to college football fans. If you swap the teams, what would change to the offenses? And if Riley Leonard was the Tennessee quarterback, that offense would be quite limited.
I caught maybe the last 5 words of that sentence. I'm gonna be real honest, but that's I know we're shitting on Riley Leonard, and that's what matters here, right? That is all that matters. We're shitting on Riley Leonard, right?
Yeah. So, no. Yeah, we pretty much got everything out. Anyway, it was just a week of learning about frauds, exposing frauds. And I would say if
last Big 12 referees, thank you very much.
Last
frauds,
thing I'll
right
leave the
Sorry,
Water
I just had to
Boy.
get it in.
Last thing I'll leave the Waterboy faithful with is that there's only 3 teams this year that can win a national championship: Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas. That is it.
I will say, while I have actual connection, because this has been more of the Grant episode than my episode, than the Waterboy episode. I want to apologize for that. But the only thing that I'm going to say, which might also add into why my Wi-Fi is a little poo-poo right now. 4 years ago today, not today, 4 years ago, a couple weeks ago, Tulane was scheduled to play Oklahoma at home. Tulane is playing Oklahoma this week. On that week, 3 years ago, we had a hurricane. This week, we're playing Oklahoma. We have a hurricane. I've been reeling for the past couple of hours after putting 2 and 2 together. But it's been raining all day. It's going to probably keep raining, which is probably why I'm assuming my Wi-Fi is a little poopy. But expect Tulane to cover this week. Expect Tulane to win plus 500 odds right now. Hammer that shit and roll wave, baby. Roll wave.
Yeah, it should be an exciting matchup. I don't think Jackson Arnold's quite the talent you guys at Oklahoma said he was. Oh well. There's always next year, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny Stutzman, I love Stutzman.
Hey, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. But by the way that Tulane played against K-State this last week, if the refs are somewhat coherent, I think that Tulane can win the game. I think that, you'll be able to put it together. And this is a do or die game. We really did have Big 12 refs.
For this next one, is it also still Big 12?
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
But the Big 12 refs were the refs we had last week, which might be one of the worst calls and then non-calls I have seen in my fucking life. Tulane gets hosed a lot of the time by referees. In any aspect of any game that I have watched, college football, NFL, NBA, whatever the fuck you name it, Angel Hernandez, this was the worst display of refereeing that I have witnessed. Fucking horrible. Like, if it was an SEC school, those referees would need a literal escort to get out of the fucking stadium. That's how bad it was. If this was Georgia, They might be manhandled on their way out. So, anyways, I airing my grievances in somewhat of a PC fashion. But I think with that, we're probably gonna wrap it up. Hopefully, my Wi-Fi will be better next episode. But yeah, if you stay tuned till the end and you fought through it with Grant and me, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. With that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.